Welcome back to the Crypto Report, everybody. I am Crypto Kip. We are live and ready to talk about crypto today. Happy Friday, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. We have some news to talk about today, my friends. Let's get into it. I need to discuss quite a bit of news as we're seeing a little bit of volatility, guys. The volatility is so fun when it comes to trading, and man, we've been doing great with that lately, but got to talk about some of this news. You know, yesterday we had discussed the fearful double top. I believe we still got bull market left. I believe we're right in that window of, honestly, the most glorious time for this crypto market. Potentially, I'm pretty excited about it. And we're seeing some new news come out of some new factors that could potentially send the crypto market a lot higher. Now, next week is a very, very big week for crypto. In fact, every time we have an FOMC meeting, it's a big week for crypto. So much volatility around the language used by Fed Chair Jerome Powell. With that comes a little bit of a warning for altcoins. I want to talk about a lot of them today, so buckle up. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to the chat. How's it going, Scott, Jimmy, Andrew, Mr. Patel, Pepe, all you guys in the chat? Welcome, guys. Tap the like button on your way in, and let's go ahead and get into it. All right. First off, what I want to do is go ahead and repost this stream. Excuse me. So we can get some others to join us here. So I just reposted it out on my X account. You guys can check it out for yourself there, and then repost that out so we can get some more folks in here and watching. All right, because we're going to do a little Q&A at the end, as we always do, and that's always a good time, guys. But who's ready for the weekend? We are basically here. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. Let's talk about it. Okay, so right now, Bitcoin's coming in at $115,000. Let me refresh this, make sure this is still accurate. Yes, $115,000 Bitcoin, down 2.5% on the day. Why? I think there's a little bit of concern over the EU trade deal. President himself came out and said there's a 50-50 chance that it goes through. We're going to take more of a look at that. Also, some very interesting news that came out regarding trade deals and potentially stimulus checks. Yes, you heard it. Stimulus checks. I want to know in the comment section really quick, guys. Breaking news, very exciting news. Look at this. Thank you so much. Look at this. We've got a wonderful parfait yogurt berries. It's spectacular. It's wonderful. You got to love it, guys. And we got a little hash brown with some eggs. Look at this. And they're going to get beautifully, wonderfully cold as I do this stream, but it's going to be wonderful, and I don't mind cold eggs, and at least the parfait can stay cold. That will warm up, and the eggs will cool down. And they'll meet in the middle, and that'll be perfect. So a conversation about stimulus checks. So what I want to do is actually put it out in the poll. Are you a fan of stimulus checks? I want to know. Did I spell stimulus right? Maybe. Whatever. You know what I'm saying. Yes or no. Leave it in the chat for me, okay? I want to hear from you guys. All right. I'm going to turn down the tunes just a little bit more. Change the tune. Okay. So we'll get into some of that news. Bitcoin is down a little bit today. In fact, everything is. Ethereum's down. Now, Ethereum's holding decently well. We've had Bitcoin dominance really getting us excited here for a minute, but then we have this little bounce kind of happening. Not really surprised to see where it bounced, kind of bouncing off these weekly candles for Bitcoin dominance back in October of 2024. Hopefully we don't get the bounce here, but I'm not surprised to see it happening potentially. We'd like altcoin season to happen. Because in altcoin season, it's not like Bitcoin's not going up, right? And we want Bitcoin to go up. We want altcoins to go up. And we've had a really nice move for the total market cap for crypto. It took a new high, guys, and you love to see it. What we're seeing right now, though, is a little bit of a test, a bounce. These are the daily candles, a daily candle closing right on this level. Hopefully, this daily candle finds a close and a bounce here, and we get a bounce. If we don't, we break back through, we could come back down to the 3.15. We could come back down to these highs at 3.5, 3.4. These are all very possible levels. And you might see Bitcoin, and we talked about Bitcoin maybe coming back down to 115. I think Bitcoin could come back down to 109, maybe down to 100. We might even see it in the 90s again before we continue to the upside. But I do think we can continue to the upside. And I'm not the only one that thinks that. So there's a lot to discuss, guys. A lot to discuss. Pepe is not a fan in the chat. Pepe in our chat. There's a viewer named Pepe. I'm not talking about the coin. I'm talking about the guy, Pepe. He's saying that he doesn't like stimulus checks because it hurts inflation. It hurts inflation. It does pump the markets, though. So would you rather have the market pump and then inflation get worse over time? Or would you rather just have inflation get on track? It's a good question. And it's a debate. It's a debate. Definitely a debate to be had. I'm not going to answer my thought on that till the end. We're gonna stick around on that topic and circle back to it. Big gainers today. ETH's up. That's cool. It's up 40% over last week. Ethereum has been doing very well lately. Some of the coins on Ethereum have been doing decently well. ETH has been pretty decent. But not a ton is up today. In fact, quite a bit is down. Pump funds getting crushed. That was the platform where people were launching meme coins like crazy. Okay. They were launching them like crazy. And when that airdrop came out, everybody kind of sold and got their free money, right? And so not a surprise to me that pump funds now today, when you see an airdrop like that, they typically crash. Like Pengu, when it came out, I think it pumped and then it dumped, and now it's trying to come back because everybody that got their money most people that got their money during the airdrop for Pengu, again, sold. And now if this bull market continues, and I think it can, you could see this one maybe continue a little bit higher. Okay, so these are some of the things that I think about as I kind of look at some of these top coins. Bonk coming down. It had a pretty nice little rally over the last month, kind of retracing right now. Everything's retracing. Pepe's coming back down. I told you guys recently that Pepe could potentially be revisiting its little level of support down here. Looks like it's on its way. That is an opportunity for potential. Maybe do your own research, guys. I'm not a financial advisor. Can't give you financial advice. Maybe there'll be a bounce here again, but could have easily had a short down to this position. If you guys want to do some trading, by the way, continue to dig into these markets for yourself. Find your levels of support and resistance on your own. But if you want to trade, I got affiliates for you for BitTuneX, for Blowfin. Links in the description with sign-up bonuses and for other crypto companies that we use. Like you've got cold storage wallets and other things in the description. So check those out if you haven't done so. XRP slipping lower, slipping a little bit lower. Testing $3 makes all the sense in the world. Something we discussed, a very real possibility, especially as we saw this kind of breaking down. XRP had a really crazy rally on the Genius stablecoin bill getting put through. Buy the rumor, sell the news event. We talked about the buy the rumor, sell the news event from the Genius Act getting through. And I was exactly right. Okay. Exactly right. Buy the rumor, sell the news makes all the sense in the world. You'd think with the Genius Act is very bullish for stablecoins. XRP is going to have a stable. Ripple's got a stable coin. It should be very bullish. It should be very bullish. But buy the rumor, sell the news event happens even on the most bullish stories. Okay, guys? It's just how it goes. Other coins coming down, a lot of them. A lot of them are coming down. I was warning you guys that it could be a little fake out for altcoins. I was warning you guys that maybe this Bitcoin dominance dump was a fake out, and you could still see Bitcoin dominance climb higher. Now, maybe it doesn't take a new high this cycle, but it could still rebound before slipping back. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see it come up and do some of that. And then we get the breakdown to the downside. This bull market, again, as I've discussed, it lasts from the lows to the highs, about 1,070 days. We're day 950 and change. Okay. So little over 100 days left, hypothetically, could be in this bull market. Takes us to maybe October, November for the potential end of this thing. Hopefully we go higher for longer, and there's so many reasons to believe that that's possible. And I've got some of those stories to share with you in this video. So smash a like. Let's talk a little bit more about what's going on right now. Liquidations, a ton of them yesterday. And the longs have been getting wrecked. And I warned you guys about this. When you see Bitcoin doing these wonderful, beautiful things and taking new highs, a lot of greedy longs come in and think, oh, I'm not going to do any trading until Bitcoin takes a new high, because then it's in price discovery mode. And the word price discovery mode is like a lethal word when it comes to traders, because there's a lot of people that take the word price discovery mode and say, when this hits price discovery mode, it's just going to keep going and I'm going to long it. Well, that is a very dangerous strategy, because especially in the last 5 or 7 years for crypto, you've seen Bitcoin whales kind of catch on to this. And when we break a new high, there's a little bit of a reject and a test back down, wiping out the greedy leverage before we kind of continue higher. So over the last few days, look, $358 million liquidated yesterday, $370 million liquidated the day prior, $630 million. This is almost $2 billion on both sides of it, mostly on the long side, wiped out over the last 3 days. Absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous. What? Ridiculous. Okay. Crypto Keeper says, hey, Kate, went down the Epic Chain rabbit hole and brought a pretty decent bag of it. Yeah, we did a sponsored video for that one yesterday. It did look very interesting to me, honestly. I mean, it did. Can't say that about, all the sponsored content, but that one actually, RWA had some big partners. There's something that tickles my fancy about that one. We're going to keep an eye on that one, Crypto Keeper, because I think it's a very interesting project. So anyway, a lot of longs are getting liquidated right now. In terms of next week, this is the title of the stream. Next week, watch out for Bitcoin next week. Watch out for Bitcoin today and through this next week. I think maybe part of the reason we're seeing a sell-off is twofold. One, this FOMC meeting is coming up, and maybe there's a sell-off leading up to that FOMC meeting, because there's a 97% chance that we're not going to get a rate cut. And I think that's getting priced in right now. Okay, what I also think could be a factor is this. President puts an EU trade deal, odds at 50-50, which isn't that good, okay? And the US-Japan deal hit a potential snag on a disagreement on profits from this $550 billion investment in the US. So there's some of that going on. Stocks are still doing great, but crypto is slipping and kind of living and dying right now just by some of these trade deals that are going on. Is that a Bush right there? Is that like a from the Bush family? Who is that? That looks like is that Jeb? Is that Jeb Bush? Who is that? Anyway, a couple things that are kind of shuffling these markets around. Yesterday was a very interesting day, though, because the president came out and the president visited Fed Chair Jerome Powell. Where? In the Fed HQ. This was a really crazy thing. So here they are. Here's a little video of them, okay? President saying, hey, come on, step on over here. You too late, Fed Powell. What he's saying in this video, and I'm not playing the audio on this clip, is the budget went up. It's a $3 billion budget, actually much higher, coming in much higher. And he's like, no, it's not. I haven't seen that. Well, actually, it's right here. There's a report that came out. These are the new numbers, $3 billion. He's like, no, it was like $2 billion. I haven't seen this. He's like, I don't believe you. Let me pull out my glasses. What is this? Furrows the brow. This guy's like, yeah, Mr. President. Yep, $3 billion. Fed chair looks at this. He points to it. And Fed's like, no, that's from an old building that we built. And president's like, well, that's lumped in. It's part of the same thing. And then the president's like, do you have any other plans to increase? Is the budget going to go up more? And he's like, yeah, I mean, we don't expect it, but we have a treasury for it. I'm almost quoting this exactly. I watched this clip, and so I'm just kind of sharing you how it played out. But he's complaining about this, and we're taking a look at it. And then somebody asked him, as a reporter, is like, what would you do if a contractor came in over budget, Mr. President? And he'd be like, I'd fire him. I'd fire him big. Okay. So, very interesting conversation, Way. What are the takeaways? It's, the president backing off pressure on Powell. Not really. I mean, this is pressure right here. Look no further than the president speaking and Powell shaking his head. No, that's pressure. He's getting pressured. Okay. Trying to make him look bad. That's pressure. And now he's saying, I think the Fed is going to lower the rates. And then when he doesn't lower the rates, he's going to come out and complain about it again. It's the same thing. So I disagree with that little bit there. President says no tension with Powell. He doesn't want to make it like a little hissy fit fight. He just wants to try and get him on the merits of, his construction background and contractors and going in over budget. He's like, I thought we had I thought we had a good meeting. There was no tension. No tension. I think we had more tension with the great senator to the right. Senator Scott was not, he was like yes manning the president. That's so funny. Unbelievable. The president did come out though and say that, you know, he wants the project completed. He's not putting it as a federal offense. It's a very complex thing. They could have been made simple. So he's kind of backing down on that. Generally speaking, what would I do? This is talking about that contractor as I talked. And then, you know, they were arguing over that price tag like I talked about. So we just hashed that out for you. But that was a big story. I don't think that's affecting the markets too much today, but it is something that everybody's talking about, and I wanted to kind of share with you. Brazil is scrambling as the U.S. tariff deadline looms. You know, these tariffs still ongoing. Deadlines are coming up. Deadlines can get pushed back, guys. They're soft deadlines. They're not total deadlines. How's it going, Oscar, in the chat? What's up? We got Cleary's beef. We got Oscar. Hope everybody's doing well. What's up, homie? What's up? Good to see you. So we got a lot of stories going on right now, guys. And next week's big. We will be live streaming this July 30th FOMC. It's going to be quite an interesting meeting. You know, there will be questions about the president's visit to the Fed. Let's see what kind of volatility we get. Again, I think this is the big reason markets are slipping today on top of tariffs. Those are the 1 and 2 punches to Bitcoin's price today, but the traditional stock market's still doing very well. And I just thought this was an interesting story that I wanted to share with you guys. Tesla, as you know, is one of those companies that bought Bitcoin early, okay? And the story with them is they bought 1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin in 2021, which is incredible. Okay. That was back when Bitcoin hit, you know, that $70,000 high. I think they bought it around 30 or 40K, I want to say. But then they sold 3/4 of their holdings the next year as the bear market was hitting. Now, CNBC is writing this as, you know, Tesla did a bad job. Tesla dumped 75% of its Bitcoin at one of the worst times, losing out on billions. And while there is some truth to this, okay, I don't know. I think they still profited. Okay, I think they still profited on that Bitcoin that they bought. So it's kind of taking things out of context. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure they actually sold it in the profit still. And then they're saying they lose out on billions. Well, yeah, I mean, anybody that sold Bitcoin even from the highs of 2021, if they're not holding it today, they lost out on gains because we went to 123K for Bitcoin. But they still had 25% of that Bitcoin, okay? And Tesla said its holdings of digital assets rose to 1.24 billion from 722 million a year ago. Okay, so they still got a lot in this crypto game now. They're still profiting on crypto. But Tesla's been getting attacked in the media a lot lately because it's fun to, I guess, you know, hate on Elon these days in the media's eyes. You know, both from the right and the left. It's been very interesting ever since the president battled. DOGE was a big thing. All of a sudden he was cozy with the president. And then, you know, when the DOGE thing kind of fell apart and then there was the spat between Elon and Trump, more heat than ever came on Tesla. And people are saying that Tesla's going to go bankrupt and all this. And like, I don't think it will, but you know, I don't think so. It seems like a very successful company. X is doing very well. Tesla's doing very well. I mean, they've still got a ton of Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin goes to $1 million one day, that's going to be a life raft for them in itself. Okay. But we're talking about the man building rockets that land themselves with turbo boosters. Probably going to be fine, but I just thought it was an interesting thing. You know, and then the reason they dumped these Bitcoin, by the way, guys, is because Tesla shareholders were terrified, and he didn't want people selling. They didn't want people selling the Tesla stock like crazy, so they sold the Bitcoin to keep their investors, you know, hanging on, because it was such a big amount that it was pretty scary. And Tesla took a dip anyway because like the stock market kind of tumbled as crypto tumbled. It was a tough moment, and then, you know, hey, we saw higher prices eventually, right? So this is what's going on right now. Bitcoin has tumbled below 116. It went back up and then it came back down again, and we are just having so much volatility. just be careful, guys, with this volatility with the trading. And if you want to take advantage of it, check out the affiliates. There's a lot of opportunities for trading. I like trading Bitcoin and Ethereum. I like trading some of the larger memes. Some of the other ones are more of like holding positions. For CRO's more of a hold for me. Solana is fun to trade, I think. And these are my personal opinions. You got to pick your own choices, guys, there. But just kind of the way that I see these markets is this volatility is really, really, really fun to trade on. Now, you do have a lot of things ramping up for pro crypto, but you still got the strong fist from the woman with white hair, Elizabeth Warren, turning the White House into a crypto cash machine, just hating on crypto. Okay. Just hating on crypto. Shocking. She's still hating on crypto. I think we've seen politically that it's not a smart move to hate on crypto. There are big crypto super PACs and going to set herself up for a difficult time to get reelected on something like a anti-crypto stance, or at least getting funding from those crypto super PACs, and the competition that's pro crypto will be getting that funding, which will help them compete. And I think that's one of just like a very bullish thing for crypto overall, is financially incentivized now for politicians to support crypto, which is a whole problem with politics, super PACs, and, donors. But it's the reality of the situation. Now, so you know what to look out for next week. It is the Fed rate cut conversation. And with that, kind of with an altcoin warning, right? Because if we kind of are slipping now for Bitcoin, altcoins are going to probably get hit a little bit worse. That's why we're kind of seeing Bitcoin dominance rebound right now. But it's not all over for altcoins. Mike Novogratz, the CEO of Galaxy Digital, came out and said Bitcoin could hit 150K this year. I think that's a pretty good prediction. I think it's a realistic prediction. We could still see that happen. I've been believing we could see 150 to like 300K Bitcoin in this cycle. I would love to see something a lot higher, but in this cycle, we see these things last for about almost 1,100 days. And we're coming up on, that time, right? I was doing this yesterday. There's an hourglass, guys, to the bull market, okay? And the sand is trickling down. And when the sand hits the bottom, we go into a bear market. I think there will be some kind of bear market. Could it be a less aggressive bear market? Potentially. Could it be equally aggressive bear market? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, clearly, just use Elon Musk as an example, right? They love crypto. Elon loves crypto. They still dumped 75% of their Bitcoin holdings. Remember this, guys. Do you think that other institutions and their shareholders won't urge them as they're profiting on Bitcoin to like take that profit and put it somewhere else? Because people understand that crypto cycles are a thing, the 4.5-year cycles. It's very possible. But before we get to any bear markets, okay, we still got some rally left, is what Mike Novogratz says. I believe that as well. I think we could see that. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, so do your own digging on that stuff. Do your own research, guys. But he also says Ethereum might outperform Bitcoin, and that makes all the sense in the world. And if Ethereum outperforms Bitcoin, I would expect that greater altcoin season to come out. I'd be really looking forward to it. It's Wade is asking, hey, Kip, what's your opinion on the price of CRO holding strong despite BTC and many else falling right now? Well, fundamentally, CRO's got a lot of good things going for it with the backing of, and I got a video coming out on CRO later today, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. But fundamentally, there's a lot of very bullish things going on for CRO, including the blue chip ETF and many more. Keep an eye on it. If Ethereum, the thing for CRO right now is if Ethereum rejects here, CRO could easily slip back down, and watch my video later today to kind of get more detail on that one. Okay, guys? Watch my video later today to get more detail on CRO. But there is a chance that we still get that massive run for Ethereum, and I believe that at some point you will see, Bitcoin dominance fall again. Probably the best time for altcoins, I think, is October, November of this year, and then it could end. It could go into 2026. I hope it does, but historically, going to be tough to see that happen, okay? Blacksea put out a couple good tweets that I want to share with you guys, my partner on this channel. Robinhood CEO Vlad came out and said that the largest market makers are entering the Bitcoin and crypto space, and this is a fact. We know this. BlackRock and all the likes of them. Good example is you can see that Fidelity, okay? Fidelity has acquired 897 Bitcoin and 57,000 Ethereum, worth 210 million. Fidelity at one point was very anti-crypto. Now they're kind of pro-crypto. Kind of $210 million worth of kind of. Pretty good. Okay, so overall, that's the argument for things maybe extending out further. Obviously, Vlad wants his crypto business to remain profitable, so he wants crypto to keep going up. That's what all these crypto CEOs want, so they're going to be putting out the very bullish price predictions. That happens every single time. And you know what? And it happens with YouTubers as well, so be careful. I'm really trying to put out accurate, and by the way, again, I can't predict the future. I'm trying to put out accurate predictions based on my personal opinions, okay? And my real opinions, they change. And you've seen, I've talked about $150,000 to $300,000 Bitcoin in this cycle. We're maybe looking at the lower half of that prediction right now. I think we might not even get to 150. It's possible. I think we could. Fundamentally, there's a lot of things that say it, but you do have other folks like this billionaire in Mexico saying he believes Bitcoin will reach $1 million very shortly. Very shortly. Take that out of context. That could be a decade. That could be 10 minutes. That could be 50 years. Okay. I personally believe $1 million ain't coming this cycle. It might not even come the next cycle. Next cycle, it would make sense to me, though. It would make sense to me. And I'm still talking cycles. Some people are ditching cycles. I can't ditch the cycles, but this is a very interesting story. Okay. Probably the most interesting story of the stream. And I have a poll put out, and I've been waiting to get to this story. Are you a fan of stimulus checks? 70% of you guys say yes. 30% of you say no. Let me know why. But the president came out and said that he is considering sending rebate checks, aka stimulus checks, to Americans using the revenue from the tariff money that they've been making and giving money back to the American people. This is something he's been talking about for a while. He's just doubling down on it again as tariff trade talks are kind of going well, still up in the air. But are you a fan of stimulus checks? I'll tell you what my opinion is on it. I am a fan of stimulus checks. Honestly, the dollar is doomed in my mind. One day, we're going to have to move away from the dollar. If you look at the U.S. debt clock, it's a joke. It's never going to get solved. You cannot solve the U.S. debt, in my opinion. Who am I, though? Just some bald guy on the internet. Fine. But this U.S. debt clock's insane, and I just don't see any resolve to it. I think that's why people are so excited about Bitcoin, because it's a limited supply. It's decentralized. That's why countries are buying it. Companies are buying it. And the argument against stimulus checks would be that it makes inflation worse. But if the dollar's doomed anyway, then you got to find an alternative to combat inflation. And so if I'm finding the alternative, which is Bitcoin, then why do I even care if inflation gets worse, frankly? I guess so that my pizza doesn't get more expensive and that so my grocery bills don't get more expensive. And the people that aren't buying the hedge against inflation, Bitcoin and crypto overall, you could argue, they're going to be hurting badly. Stimulus checks are cool for market pumps. I think it's a terrible idea for the U.S. economy, but I think that it's great to pump markets. So that's my take on this, okay? And that's why you got this guy saying to buy stocks now. Yes. Because when you see stimulus checks go out, what do people do? They invest it in the markets. And the president likes these market pumps. President's come out and said he thinks Fed chair might be ready to lower rates. That could be something that could trigger an altcoin season as well. So you'd like to see that. And Benjamin Cowan, I like putting out his post sometimes, says something I think is very funny. Influencers are predicted 183 the last two alt seasons. There's been two alt seasons. Okay. The last two bull markets. And we're waiting for an alt season. We had like a mini alt season at the end of last year, but it wasn't the true alt season. And we're waiting on the alt season. The third alt season should probably come. But I thought this was a very funny one. Just be careful of who you're listening to, guys, and what you're watching, and continue to do your own due diligence. We have not gotten everything right here, guys. We've been waiting for alt season 2. We've been waiting for it, hoping for it, but haven't really been saying that it's coming. The closest I've come to saying that it's coming, I think, was back when, the president was elected. We were looking for it right then. That would have been the most logical catalyst, but we had a little dip. Oh, a buy the rumor, sell the news event, which we talked about being a risk around the election of this pro-crypto president. So there we are. Here we are. Big liquidations. Take advantage of the volatility if you guys want to by checking out the affiliates in the links in the description down below. Okay. All right, guys. What else is cooking, guys? What else is going on? Smash a like, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for tuning in to the Crypto Report. We talked about this yesterday. Bitcoin looking a little double toppy. A little double toppy. This is your last bull market. We kind of went 1, 2. Little McDonald's logo. Here we are now. We are kind of going 1. Are we going to go 2? And are we going to do this thing again? It's a good question. I don't want to see that. Is it possible? It's possible. Do I think we go higher? I think we go higher. I'd like to see us go higher. I think we could go higher. I think we should go higher. But historically, the data says time's running out. And the hourglass is shifting sands. All right? Let's look at the chat. What's going on, people? How's everybody doing? Let's talk. Let's talk. Let me get a bite. Let me take a bite here. It's going to be beautiful. Ready? That was good. Thanks, it's Wade. I appreciate you, brother. Okay, what's cooking, guys? What's cooking, guys? The $1,000 XRP. Yeah, I know we did that stream the other day. No, $1,000 XRP. No, just no. Just no. I don't think so. 10, 20, $50 XRP. I might be able to get behind. $1,000 XRP. I can't get behind it. Can't get behind it. Not unless the supply changes. Not unless Brad, what's his name? Chris Larson sells the rest of his XRP. We could be seeing a potential bounce here for XRP. It's possible. Oops. Could be seeing a little bounce here for XRP, maybe. $3 would be a logical level for us to stop at. Some kind of little trend line happening, kind of like that. It ain't perfect. We could easily slip back down. What else is going on, people? I think everybody's just getting ready for the weekend right now. Did you smash the like button, by the way? Have you subscribed to this channel? Do you want more content? Turn on your notification bell. Let's go. 23 likes. Oh, man, we got to get that up. I didn't watch the video, Scott, and I decided I'm not going to. I watched a couple videos from that guy. So I met you halfway. I watched a couple videos from that guy. Nah, dude. Just nah, dude. It's crazy. I mean, he's a good talker. He's a good talker. Good talkers are dangerous. Good talkers are dangerous. That's all you can say, Scott, is we will see. I hope it happens. My cousin would be maybe a trillionaire if that happens. And that's that. He's got so much XRP, it's coming out of his ears. My cousin. He'd buy me, my wife, and my baby a mansion. No, I didn't watch the video. I watched a couple clips of that guy, though. I did. He was on X yesterday. He came up on my X feed. I was looking for the video, but Scott, I didn't see a message from you to find it. So I don't know. I didn't know. I was looking. I looked, actually. I did look in my inbox. I didn't see any of your messages. What am I eating? I just had one little bite. Yeah, I got some eggs right here waiting, getting nice and cold. Wonderful. And a little hash brown. And I got a little parfait with some granola strawberries and just some Greek yogurt. Pretty good. And I'm about to go here in a second and eat it because we've been live for 35 minutes. I hope nobody round trips this bull market, but inevitably people will round trip it because greed gets the best of us sometimes, guys. Pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. Don't be a hog. Yeah, I know. I saw that, Scott. He works with a lot of millionaires and billionaires. Well, they're millionaires and billionaires for now, but if they're working with that guy, they might not be millionaires and billionaires for long. Appreciate you, Enzo. Thanks, man. You in Italy? Sounds like you are. I learned my lesson too, Pepe. I learned it the hard way. That's why we started the channel, because we wanted to update people on crypto news and tell them the hard lessons that we learned in this crypto space when we were just getting started. Marlon PB says, I was hogging around yesterday and lost 17 on a high leverage short. Oh, no. Yesterday was a good day for that, too. See, and that's why, don't always use high leverage. And if you're going to use high leverage, get in, get out. Not financial advice. I don't think it's impossible for XRP to go to 20 bucks. I could see it being possible. I could see it being possible. It's like my peak thing for this. That would be crazy if that happened. That would shock me. I don't expect it. At some point in the future, if they do all the things they say they're going to do and it gets integrated in all the things they say they're going to integrate into, yeah, $20 is like possible, but I think. Yeah, but Pepe, what if the total market cap goes to 20 trillion? I mean, total market cap's at 3.75. Right now, XRP is sitting at what? 180. So it's what, 5%? That's 5-ish% of the entire market cap. Roughly, very roughly. 5% of 20 trillion is a trillion. So it's possible. Yeah, but yeah, total top for the market. I'm with you. 6 to 7 trillion could be reasonable. Yeah, I do. Pepe, I do like the way you think, Pepe. I do like the way you think. You clash with some of the folks in the chat sometimes, but it's all good fun. I like it. Alex says, I like you too, Scott. I love what he said. All I can say is we'll see what happens, bro. We'll see what happens. Bro. I love it. Alex says, I think it's a healthy correction. Is this Alex? Is this Alex? Alex? Is this Alex? Alex? Is this Alex? I think a healthy correction is what's happening on the market now. And the bull market will continue. What do you think? I agree. I agree. I think it's a healthy correction, and I think we have more bull market coming. Again, we still have the 100 or 1,070-day window that I'm hanging on to. It could go a little longer. I wouldn't be surprised if it went a little longer, but I'd be super surprised if it went like double. Well, there's an Alex that I know. There's a good friend of mine, Alex. It's just one Alex. This is, you know. Oh, wait, now I don't know if it is. It is. Like, how could I decipher if this was Alex? The first name of the girl that I went to prom with that we both know. There you go. That'll stump him. He would know. Ooh, I'm going to Italy with Enzo. For Enzo, he's going to make me fresh pasta. Can I bring my wife and my baby? They'll be thrilled. It's Waits. It's one of my old coworkers at Best Buy back in the day told me I only need 1,000 XRP to retire. Oh boy. Well, 100 XRP to retire. Oh boy. And Scott thinks it's possible. I don't know, Scott. Alex didn't respond. It's not Alex, but it's still a good Alex. But yeah, I think this is a temporary healthy correction, and then we get a further upside. All right, guys, that is all I have. Enjoy your weekend. Smash a like, subscribe to the channel. Look for those market cap multipliers. I don't even know what that means. Keep your head on a swivel, folks. How's it going, Rostanova? Good to see you, member. If you want to become a member on the channel, like Rostanova, a legend, you get access to our private Discord. Check it out. Check it out in the description down below. Affiliates for signups, for great exchanges in the description as well. Continue to do your due diligence in this space. Do your own research, my friends. I'm not a financial advisor, as always. DCA hodl. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Deuces, mooses. Have a good weekend. Bye. Bye.